Okay, hi everybody. I haven't had much time to log onto YouTube lately, but anyway, I just wanted to say something about the apparent closure of the Guantanamo Bay prison. Um, you know, I'm not really sure um, what these reports are all about. First, we hear some reports that the administration wants to close Gitmo, but isn't quite really sure yet how to do it. High-level meetings have been canceled. And needless to say, sure they want to close it, not because of inhumane treatments of the detainees there, but because it's basically become a political embarrassment internationally. So now the U.S. supposedly is helping build a prison in Afghanistan, according to the recent AP reports. And of course, this is not to replace Guantanamo, because only a portion of the detainees there are supposed to be transferred to Afghanistan. And as we recently heard, things aren't going too well in Afghanistan, with all the recent bombings and killings of civilians and so on, which was supposed to win the hearts and minds of the people there. So, mission accomplished. Last I heard that there were about 600 high-value detainees at Gitmo. But now, all of a sudden, there are only 375. One might want to ask, what happened to the others? Well, according to the State Department, a State Department legal advisor named John Bellinger, half of the original detainees have been transferred. In other words, they were probably renditioned and or released. And about 80 more are scheduled to be released. So, what is this? Maybe there weren't any high-value detainees, terrorist suspects, there to begin with, but just a bunch of farmers and kids who've been rounded up by the National Northern Alliance, our temporary ally over there. Basically, these are people who are getting paid off by the CIA, protection money, as you might call it. And, Afghanistan is a tribal society, and local leaders are paid for by the CIA, and sometimes $1 million per local leader in a single afternoon, as Seymour Hersh has just reported, or actually he's written about it 2 years ago in his book Chain of Command, The Road to Guantanamo. Anyway, read it. If it's the only book on foreign policy you read this year, that's the one book you ought to read. It tells you all the inner workings of things. Anyway, the whole closing of Gitmo will essentially be nothing more than a public relations game in order to get an increasingly outraged international public worldwide off the backs of governments with authoritarian aspirations. I mean, not that rendition flights or secret CIA prisons or torture haven't been taking place all along. They have. It's just not known to too many citizens. But now it's become a huge embarrassment. Because, once you enshrine a detention without legal recourse into law, as has happened here through the denial of habeas corpus in this country, a principle on which this nation was founded, then, of course, it's not so good. And, habeas corpus is nothing more, it's a fancy word, but it's nothing more than someone that is being detained has the right to face their accusers and to mount a reasonable defense. Anyway, I'm sure public opinion, at least here in the US, can be managed to the point now, so that it appears that once Gitmo is closed, to great fanfare and applause, that the US, after all, stands for human rights and will continue to do so whenever it becomes politically necessary. Thanks for listening. Bye.